So both the perspectives they had that, it definitely overlapped in the idea that like, we can't really pin this on Jordan Love. It's like, it's not just his fault that they lost.
No.
And that's definitely true.
Right.
And that's, a good sensical, logical counter to the, the people calling for like putting in Blake Bortles mid-game or saying Jordan Love's a wash or a waste of a first-round pick, all that kind of nonsense. So it was a good episode of that.
I like that. And I, I appreciate that they actually took the time to break it down. I just said it's all Aaron Rodgers' fault. I'm lazy. But no, I mean, honestly, if he would have been there, boom. But I did, on the same token, appreciated that Love, we had a chance to see him. We had a chance to see him, not that he had a chance to play. I mean, that was important, obviously, for his development too. And I wondered if LaFleur was just thinking, why don't I just give him like what Aaron would do and see how he does? I mean, because it's almost was like a practice in a way,
Yeah.
And he did take a lot of that on his own shoulders. He said, it's 100% my responsibility. I should have. And yeah, it does kind of lead into the quarterback school that I'm going to bring up. But I don't know. I mean, what do you say if it's and ands were buts and what is that? I'm so bad at these things.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas. Is that what you're thinking of?
I'm so bad at remembering those things. But yeah, that. So yeah, it's all Rodgers' fault.
All Rodgers' fault.
For not showing up, but on the other hand, thank you, Rodgers, for not showing up.
So my third one, Dawn, is going to be best pro-OBJ argument. So, as we're recording this on Thursday, the news broke just a little before we started recording that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be signing with the Rams. So, whatever. It's a yes or no thing for me. I don't really care. I don't care who he signs with.
Really.
But, throughout the week, of course, this was a big debate on Twitter and podcasts, stuff like that. Like, should we be hoping for OBJ? Would it be good or a bad thing?
Right.
And definitely there's that lingering sort of like notion that he's bad for a locker room. And like, I don't know if there's any proof or anything necessarily, just because like he, is somebody who likes a lot of attention. So I think people might make assumptions about what he's like as a locker room presence. But I'm on Wednesday night. So we actually talked about Lombardi's Bar last week. That's coming up again right now here, because on Lombardi's Bar, Wednesday night this week, Todd Varney made a really good argument for why, like, no, actually that shouldn't be an issue, because as he put it, like the leadership in the locker room and in the team is so strong that like, if, OBJ were to like try to like, pop off one time in the receiver room, like it would be the last time he does, because they would like put him in his place, be like, no, like you're not wide receiver one in this system. Like, that's not how this is going to work. Yeah. So any worries about like any toxicity he might have brought to a room, Todd made the good point that like, that's not going to happen in the Packers. Like, that's not what the culture is like. I thought that was really smart. It kind of made me feel like, okay. I
think he also said Big Dog would help him out.
That's right.
Big Dog. I don't know if he said it that way, but that's how.
Yeah, Jimmy added that. Jimmy's like, yeah, and Big Dog. Exactly. Yeah. Quick side thing actually about Lombardi's Bar. So it had the best Packers bar in America contest going, and the Packers bar by me is the one that won. So really excited for those guys for the it's part of the Packers Fans of Greater Cincinnati Facebook group that like gathers there at Mac's Pizza Pub just across the river in Covington, Kentucky. So huge shout out to that group. That's just amazing group of Packers fans. They're so incredible. And so really I'm excited for that bar to have won the award.
Yay!
So that's exciting stuff. So anyhow, I do have an honorable mention though I want to like throw out here too.
Awesome.
So as I mentioned before, one of my favorite podcasts is On Brand and Off Topic. And this week, Aaron Ellis, a central figure in Packers Twitter, was unavailable to host the show as she usually does, trying to keep things on the rails as she tries to every week. And so Kim Colello stepped in her place and did a great job. As you might remember, Don, I was able to be a guest host on that show one time. And it's tricky because talking about Todd again here, Jimmy, they're the other two people on the show. They're fast. They're thinking stuff that's funny and interesting quickly, and like when you're kind of like they're trying to keep up with them, it's really hard. And Kim did a great job of keeping up with them, of keeping the show moving forward. It actually was a shorter episode than usual, I think, because she was so good at moving things forward. So anyhow, just quick shout out on the side here, excuse me, to Kim for the great work she did hosting on on brand and off topic this week.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, that's not an easy thing to do, to kind of keep everything together, especially when you have brilliance all around you. I was, in my past life, director of design. So I had all creatives, and that's like just really hard to do. It's like you're either kind of in bliss and just everybody's having a great time, or it's just like deadline, and it's just super stressful. So yeah, there's not really a happy medium in the fashion industry when it comes to that. But when you're live and when you're recording a show, you have to. There's just no choice. You've got those perimeters kind of keeping you. But yeah. I didn't get a chance to listen to that, but I saw that and I wanted to check her out. Erin Alice, right? I think of her as Erin Elise for some reason when I see her name spelled out on Twitter. She is so sharp and funny, so fun. I love her tweets. And when you said there was a guest host, I was like, oh, I've got to check her out too. So she's great. OBOT, on brand, off topic.
Yep.
That's your topic. And remember, everyone listening, all of the folks that we are talking about, you can just look in our show notes and you'll see the clickable mentions and you can check them out yourself.
That's right.
That's what we like to do.
So Dawn, what do you have for superlatives for this week?
Gosh, I don't remember. Okay, bear with me. Bear with me. I've had a day. I don't know what it is about Thursdays. Why does my kitten always go to the hospital on Thursdays? And then I'm like, I'm exhausted. Okay, so last week I talked about the crisis of trust within the NFL, and I was all serious. And well, I wasn't serious. I was serious, but
no, you're serious. It was a weighty matter. It was weighty.
Yes, very much so. Very important to fans, at least, to be able to trust the franchises and the celebrities, sports figures that we support. And I did that before the whole Aaron Rodgers things, happened. It wasn't intentional, but it did kind of tie in together. But today I want to lighten it up again a little bit. Back to my usual, let's just make fun of everybody. So today, most clever, I'm going to mention the quarterback school, which it's a YouTube channel, which I enjoy because as I mentioned many, many, many times, I am the podcaster who knows nothing about football. I'm trying to learn. And so there are several YouTube channels that I really enjoy where you can actually it's almost like you're going to school. They're standing up, they're doing diagrams, they're breaking down the films. I mean, I love Dusty for that reason, others. But today I'm going to talk about the quarterback school because so many people mentioned, and I actually found it on my own. And then everyone else was mentioning it too, because I'm already subscribed. It's because you're a trendsetter is what it is. I am.
People are following you, so
that's for sure.
But it was mentioned. Everyone was talking about it this week.
Everyone was talking about it. I'm like, that's my show. So that means it needs to go in the podcast. So the show, and I think he's this new one now. I think he's doing Lamar and somebody else, but this was almost a week ago, as you're going to be hearing this Saturday. The show was called Yeah, I've been impressed with Jordan Love. Of course, we're going to want to listen to that one, right? And so it's super informative. This is put on by JT O'Sullivan. He's a former NFL quarterback. I think he was in the NFL for a good decade, but then he went on to get his doctorate. He's a college athletics administrator. He's an educator, a coach, very qualified to be doing this teaching YouTube channel. He also has a paid version where you can actually learn whether you're just a fan or you want to be a quarterback, to go to his quarterback school. And I've actually thought about taking that one of these days, taking his actual course.
Cool. Yeah.
And so he's also on the adjunct facility here at UCSD, so La Jolla, UCSD, San Diego University, California, San Diego campus. So, which I forgot he was here, but anyway, he's a cool guy, funny. And he has this YouTube channel, and he broke down the film, as he always does, of last week's game, Packers, Kansas City, but he was particularly looking at the offense and Jordan Love and what happened there. And so I was very interested. But what he did on top of that was just brilliant. I don't know if you saw it, Matt.
Yeah.
he took the language from Aaron Rodgers' Friday, a week ago, Friday press conference, and he laced it into all the dialogue.
It was brilliant. Yeah.
It was brilliant. And I don't want to say too much about it because I will blow it for you, but it was just delightful. And it wasn't insulting. It was just lighthearted.
It was playful.
It was what we needed. Yeah. You know, that's the kind of stuff I can handle. I don't need to be bashing anybody, Rodgers or anyone, you know, disagree, agree, whatever. But we needed that. It was great for the moment. And he even said he was a little nervous about how it would be received. Mm-hmm. And he was so happy that people took it for what it was. And he worked very hard on it. And it was great. So if you want to learn about what happened in last week's game, learn a little bit, like I say all the time in this podcast, I know nothing about football. So if you're like me and you want to enjoy the game a little bit and just learn a little bit more, this is a great YouTube channel and this particular podcast from last week, live stream from last week on his YouTube channel is a great one because it did take the dialogue, the fun, dialogue language from Aaron Rodgers and laced it through the lesson. It was great. It was awesome. So most clever goes to JT O'Sullivan. Fun fan of the week, fun fans, plural of the week, is going to the UK and Irish Packers at UK Packers Twitter. So as of 12 hours ago, they tweeted right now, and 12 hours ago, as we record this podcast Thursday night, over 50 Packers fans are making their way to London ahead of their annual 2021 trip to Green Bay. And they fly to Chicago tomorrow, so that'll be Friday, which will be yesterday when you hear this. And then they're also going to take in a Badgers game. So they're going to take in the Badgers game on Saturday, the Packers game on Sunday, as is their tradition. And they said it is going to be epic. And I hope that next year when I do plan my pilgrimage back to Lambeau and Wisconsin and all that, I want to time it for when they're at the game.
I love that. That's awesome.
We got to do this. We got to do this, Maddie, right? We got to do this because it's not, I don't think it's snowing yet there or anything.
There's a chance of flurries earlier in the week, they said, for Sunday. I haven't checked it recently, of course, but maybe. Yeah. It could be a blizzard, but early November. Yeah. So hopefully, that can happen. But anyway, fun fans of the week, UK and Irish Packers. And I don't know, is Dara, it's pronounced Dara.
Dara, excuse me.
Dara Gallagher, yeah.
Gallagher.
Is he with them? I don't know. I don't know if he's part of the group or not. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, over 50 Packer fans. It's so amazing to see that. Oh gosh. I'm having kitty issues again with my space bar. I have to, for those listening, I have to kind of set up my computer differently because I had the brilliant idea to get my kitten addicted to YouTube videos of, squirrels and things that cats like. And so now she's always walking over my keyboard. So I have like this whole different setup and I'm struggling with it. Okay. Matt, my third superlative. I said I only had two, but I just threw one in here.
Oh, okay.
Best banter goes to Matt Pickett.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks.
I love your little banter. And it's kind of a sideways. It mentions a lot of people. So another great, you mentioned in one of your tweets, another great episode, despite the absence of Steve.
Oh, you're talking about the Wednesday podcast. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yep, and you attached his clip, which we will play in the podcast. I will drop it in here to hear Dusty Evely explaining why he and Sarah missed you on the podcast this week, and we missed you too, Steve.
Yep,
we missed you.
Sure did.
It was a great episode, so. I don't know. Should I explain what it was? It was
sure.
Dusty was giving an answer about a film, right? What was the thing? Yeah, and you can listen to the clip to hear what it was. Dusty was giving an answer about a clip from a film, but But Matt, in his cleverness and his banter, mentioned that no, this is not Dusty talking about a film. It's Dusty talking about how much he misses Steve. So that was cute. I loved it. And so a huge thanks to Dusty also for the shout out to our podcast.
Thanks, Dusty. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dusty. We appreciate you so much. And I love that episode on Wednesday. And I actually have been listening on Wednesday lately. It's like my whole life has shifted a day. I lost a day somewhere. So now I'm up there listening to Wednesday podcasts on Wednesday instead of Tuesday. Wow. So Maddie, any final thoughts?
Sheesh. Just super excited about the game. And what else? I guess and again, I'm really glad that Turner was on there, as I say before, because usually they only just do the AFC stuff, because those are on CBS. And so the fact that we got one of the games on CBS for, two NFC teams is really unusual. I mean, I shouldn't say it's super unusual. It happens like probably every now and then, but really looking forward to it for that reason. And nothing else really.
It's a 325 Central, 425.
Yep. I think it was like 4:30 games here, but
something like that. Yeah. So that means I can see it when I want to, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say 432. So like 125 feet then, right?
125, and it'll be shown everywhere because it gets shifted. Yeah, that tends to happen to a lot of Packers games because they're top popular level. Yeah.
People will watch it, so it makes money for the NFL. That's what it is.
That's right. So yeah, it's going to be a great game, and I'm not at all worried about it. It is what it is. I'm getting, especially last week and this week, I'm feeling comfortable, and I'm just happy to be a Packer fan. It's just fun.
Me too.
It's so fun, and we love our community, and it's super fun. So
all right. So Dawn, where can people find you on the socials?
So follow me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Dawn DeQuisto, DAWNDACQUISTO. And did I mention Instagram? Yeah. Message me if you can't find my Instagram. I have several Instagram. We also have Hey, we like your pod on those same channels. And hey, ! We like your pod is at Hey Willip. That's HEYWLYP. So Maddie, where can we find your greatness?
Oh, greatness. Shucks. I'm at Matt Trombone on Twitter. That's 3 T's in the middle. Friends, please subscribe, rate, and share Hey, We Like Your Pod wherever you listen. Now, including on Apple Podcasts. Yes. Helps us grow our audience and helps us grow our audience and keep doing what we do.
We like doing what we do. It really does. And we appreciate you all joining us here. We're both so glad to know you, to be fans of you, and to have the luxury of being fans of the most storied team in the NFL. We appreciate your support, subscriptions, and sharing our pod. And we look forward to seeing you next week on
Hey, We Like Your Pod.
Wow. No, Thursday night football. What's happening over there?